everybody, Roger here again. Wow, 2 videos in one day. I'm pretty shocked at myself. Anyways, I kind of wanted to, I'm on my way to lunch, and I wanted to go over another topic that came up this past weekend and just kind of give my 2 cents on it as well. This topic here is in regards to this new article by, actually 2 articles. One in particular I'll be discussing is, it was in the New York Times, can my sons be friends with white people? And yeah, there's a lot of issues with this story. There's a lot, this author is basically kind of going down the list of reasons why he feels he has to be afraid he has to be afraid of white people and what he perceives them to be as threats in his own life, apparently, which is kind of odd because he's married to somebody who apparently gets mistaken as white all the time. So, you know, apparently everybody within his scope of family individuals are okay, but yet he has judgments about other people. And again, these are preconceived notions, and I don't give a rat's ass what he says. That is racism. You know, that's all he's doing. I hate this bullshit crap where people say, oh, there's no such thing as racism against whites. Yes, there is. Every person is a person. Every nationality is a nationality. Every background is a background. I don't give a shit how you define it. When you hate, it comes down to the basics. When you hate a group of individuals, any kind, any background, any ethnic, religious, whatever background, well, in this case, ethnic, you're racist. You are a racist. If you're a black person who hates whites, if you're a Mexican who hates whites, you're racist. Simple as that. I don't need any of this bullshit, you know, modern day speak of what we inherently know to be racist ideology to be slapped in our face. Now, some of us are a little bit smarter than that. We know how to decipher 2 + 2 is 4. You know, we don't need to have this any of these false figures out there giving us definitions of what things really are, who can do what and who can't. So, anyways, going along with this author, he claims that he doesn't know how to discuss with his son, you know, how he can actually be friends with somebody of a Caucasian background. Oh, I can go play, I can watch the game with them, but I can't ever really get into a scenario where I'm going to be, you know, more in-depth and personal with them. You know, it makes absolutely no sense. It's like the guy already had this preconceived notion and nobody can ever get past it. You know, granted, you know, one can argue, okay, no, he's doing that with his wife, so that should already be proof positive of something. And you know, that's a big deal in my opinion, because I mean, if you're able to forgive your wife, but then you're judgmental to other people, I don't know, there's just something wrong with that. You should, if you have no pre-assumptions, when this guy does not have an issue with stating that he does have preconceived notions regarding what he perceives as white people as basically the devil. I am putting words in his mouth, but that's, when you read the article, that's basically the conclusion he comes down to. He thinks everybody's prejudging him, right down to the white cash register, white person working at the cash register. You know, he says, you know, I will judge them. I will always judge them. It's, you know, is there any hope for you? Is there any hope for people like you? And I really feel very sorry for your kid if that's what you think you have to teach him. Makes absolutely no sense, you know, and you have no facts to back any of your claims that are in that article. Everything in there was just opinion. You know, you proceeded to concede that everybody who was a Trump supporter were all racists and fascists and fascists and everything like that. God, I hate that stupid argument. You guys are so mentally just stupid. I mean, get over yourselves. Those aren't arguments. Those are your judgments. And that's all it is. Preconceived judgments from your imagination. So, no, I'm not a racist. You know, I'm a gay Hispanic American male. I'm far from racist. Just because I voted for somebody, I don't need you to tell me what I am. You don't know me. You don't know why I made a calculated decision and studied up on all these candidates. You know, here you are forgiving Hillary Clinton, again, and I'm bringing up Hillary Clinton for a reason, because in this article, this guy specifically states that all the people who voted for Trump are the people that are making him more afraid. Well, I'll tell you what, that leads down to one conclusion. He was a Hillary voter. Or he didn't vote at all, which is the case with a lot of liberals who are always marching, and you see their videos on YouTube. Oh, who'd you vote for? I'm a non-voter. Okay, so if this is the case with this guy, he voted for Hillary. So what? You forgive Hillary for saying that black people are super predators? You know, your logic is so stupid. You have no logic. Everything that you have is opinion with no foundation of something that makes sense. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It really bothers me when people think like this. It's all you guys are doing is you're pushing the narrative of people, not being able to think for themselves, thinking that, and especially people like this guy and professors and supposed columnists, award-winning columnists and journalists. No, you guys are all mentally out of there. You guys are what's destroying America. The people that act like you and the people that promote your kind of BS. What else here? That's just one article, and I'm gonna go ahead and answer it like this. Can my black kids be friends with white kids? Yes. That's not for you to call. That's for him to decide. You don't need it. You can put all the ideology you want in his brain, but it's ultimately let him be the decision maker. If you're going to coerce him into thinking the way that you want to, that is your problem, and you're going to have to face up with the consequences of whatever happens after that. But all you're doing is you're making a civilian. You're trying to mold a civilian in society in some sort of a groupthink scenario. Individual thing. You're trying to make him think like you in regards to how you view white people. God, you're so sick. I really hope you get help. Now, the other article, and it was published a couple of hours either before or after this stupid one in the New York Times. It's one by a guy named Douglas Jacobs. I don't remember what the article was called. It could be "We're sick of racism" or something like that. I'm like, well, if you're sick of it, then stop being racist to white people. But he basically goes in this article, Douglas Jacob goes in this article, and he claims that minority early deaths are caused by people being racist to them. This is his point, and maybe not all of the point, but I'm going to say he's saying it's at least, I'm going to guesstimate 70 to 80% of the reason why black men, Mexicans, minorities, etc. He only mentioned black and Latinos have higher levels of cortisol is because people are racist to them. I beg to differ with you, Guy. I think you're taking out a lot of very important things that are a lot more, that are more of a reason as to their epidemic, their own weight gain and bad health and higher cortisol levels, stress, obviously, that lead to that. And it's not because people are racist. You're pushing that narrative. It probably never even, it doesn't cross my life. I'm gay. I could play the victim if I wanted to. Guess how many times I played it? Zero. Don't need to be a victim. We're all equals in America. Here's the other thing. You're leaving out the fact that a lot of these people are dependent on the welfare state. They also live under democratic rule in most of the states that they're in and most of the regions that they're in, and their leaders don't take care of them. And the whole issue with that is that these people were buying shit food. Yesterday, I was behind somebody who bought like 2 liters of soda. And they were minorities. I'm telling you what, that has a lot to do with what kind of how healthy you're going to be, your longevity, things of that nature. So you're leaving out really important things that could actually be benefiting Hispanics, that could be benefiting blacks, that could be benefiting Indian, Native Americans. You know, you're leaving out important things because you want to go with an agenda piece, and fuck you for that. You know, you're what's bringing down America. You're what's bringing down the minorities. You're not empowering anybody by your stupid logic. All you're doing is hurting people. No, you want to know what causes premature deaths, or not premature deaths, but deaths with people dying sooner than what they should? The type of foods we eat, the food that have no nutritional value, high GMOs, an inactive lifestyle, living off a welfare state, not having any ambition, all of that, and a couple of other things as well, play into the fact that people are gonna die quicker. You know, it's inevitable, and things that actually the big one too, single parent households. You know, half the time it's mothers raising sons, and when you look at the statistics of a lot of these kids who are being raised by single parents, a lot of times they turn out to be criminals through no fault of I take that back. Through fault of their own. Everybody has their own decisions that they can make, and they're all coherent. But there's lack of leadership and authority in their household. And then they go and they wake up in the morning, eat the pizza that they had last night, dollar store pizza, mind you, not anything, nothing that was homemade with real ingredients or anything. They don't go to farmers markets. They go sometimes. You know, I grew up around this as well, where some people would be living their life morning, noon, and night, walking to the gas station, getting a couple Monster drinks, getting a 20-pack of donut rolls or a 6-pack of donut rolls, and that's their lunch. And then their dinner is like a Hot Pocket. You don't think that can help add to premature death? You don't think that I'm not even using the right word, that people can die quicker because of something like that? That is just that's you're leaving out something that is. You're putting racism in the place of that's such a small thing. I'm pretty sure people don't think of racist bothering them and heightening their cortisol levels. No, there's a lot of other things that actually happen that would lead to premature deaths, and I just named a couple of them. So anyways, I hope that you realize that. I hope that things for you change. I hope that you're able to make it to where you stop publishing bullshit articles like this. You know, it doesn't help. It doesn't help the community. It doesn't help your community. It doesn't help my community. All it does is just, it feeds that system, and it feeds the dependency. That's the biggest issue with minorities, the codependency. Just look at the stats. You can get pissed off at me if you want, but the stats speak for themselves, and the stats are always going to be right. And if you don't want to look the stats square in the face and you call racism, then you're the fucking problem. You need to get out of the way for us people who actually want to fix these things, and go mind your own business. Go raise your family how you want, but you shouldn't have to be influencing other people with issues like this. That's your agenda. It doesn't solve any problems. You keep poking holes into the balloon here. So screw you. I hope this video helps some people. Pass it around if you want to. Other than that, peace out.